Hello everyone, and welcome to Sabina Adewole's YouTube channel, Poetry Online Sessions, and this is session 3. And today we're going to be talking about allusion poetry. I hope you're all having an amazing day, and I hope you've been enjoying our sessions. Please remember to subscribe so you can get more content. And what is an allusion? An allusion is a poem that refers to a person, a place, or a historical event. It actually adds meaning to your poem or to a place or an historical place, which the most famous allusion is a poem by T.S. Eliot, which is called The Wasteland. And I just want to give you some more background. It also creates a metaphor about a location. It intensifies, it vivifies the poet's message by hinting on places and giving it deeper meaning. In other words, to give a poem depth. So if you're trying to write, say for instance, you want to write about Buckingham Palace, so you probably have to do a bit of research around Buckingham Palace. Where is it located? Who lives there? How old is Buckingham Palace? Who was the first queen? Who is the current queen? And just do your background knowledge. And then when you now want to sit down and write about Buckingham Palace, you can now perhaps visit the place, sit out there one day, and then come up with your poem. So I'm going to give you or recite a poem that I composed a few months ago when I visited Nikiti with 4 of my friends, which is somewhere in the Greek island. And the 4 of us were just sitting down on the beach that day, and I decided to ask them what they felt. We had gone to visit a town called Nikiti that had a market, and within that town we just enjoyed the day. And so let me read that poem to you, and then maybe that might give you some insight. So this poem is called Memories of Nikiti. Actually, I don't think that's the right one, but I'll read this one. The cleaners in the market, picking the fruits and tomatoes from the bins, the brooks and the brushes in hand, the women having fun. The bars had been open for drinks, the men gather for chats, the women having coffee in the bars, the shops on the high street, my search for my bathroom bag, the fridge magnet, Nikiti, the blue eye weights off evil spirits and bad energy, the walk up the hill and back to the bus stop, the walk through the market. The market had a good vibe to it. The food and mainly clothes on display, the confectionery, the eggs and oils, the magnet at the end of the stalls, the curtains in the market, the tea towels on display, but nothing with grease to remind me of my visit. The market comes up to a close at the peak of dawn. What a lovely experience. I enjoyed my day at the market in Nikiti. So you see that by writing that poem, it gave you deeper meaning to what this town Nikiti was about. I had never been to Greece. It was my first visit after coming out of the lockdown, and I just wanted to go on a girls' night out. So we decided, 4 of us, to jump on the plane, and off we went. And we visited this town, which was about 20 minutes from where we stayed. And when I got back from the town on the coach, I decided to write Nikiti. And when you've listened to that, you would realize it gives you more meaning about what Nikiti was. So if you decide to visit Greece one day, you can come up with your own poem. So the task for me as a poet is I go with what inspires me. So if I've visited a place and I fancy any of what I've seen, I just either jot some points down on my phone. I use my notes a lot, or I take pictures, and when I go back, I can kind of write up what I've seen. And this has only got 5 stanzas. So again, you could write it in free prose. You could write it in stanzas, like 4 lines per stanza. And yeah, that's your poem. I hope I can actually find the other one, which I thought would have been but I can't even remember the name of that poem, because that was a collaboration between the four of us. And we were sitting down by the beach that day, and I just came up with this poem. So I think the assignment for you today would be to think of something that's historical or that reminds you of anywhere that you visited, and then try and see what you can come up about that town. And it could add meaning to that town that you visited, or it could be something historical in the Bible. You just have to think deep. And like I gave you the example about Buckingham Palace, so that's what an allusion is. So allusion poetry is a poem that refers to a person, a place, or an historical event. It could be an ancient source like the Bible, mythology, or ancient poets. And this often creates a metaphor about a historical place, and it intensifies the vivid imagery of the poem, basically. So it also helps to indicate or hint or suggest deeper meaning to the reader. So I hope you've enjoyed the session, and I hope you could subscribe to my channel, and hopefully you'll get more content. If you've got any questions, please pop them on the chat, and the idea would be, if you've come up with any poem, you could actually post it within the chat, and then I could give you some feedback. And the plan going forward would be to have some poetry sessions online where we could actually create the poems within the session, and then there would be like a private group where I could add you guys on, and then you could kind of chat, and then we could post the Zoom link there. So I look forward to seeing you in my next session. My name is Sabina Adewale. I'm a life coach, a poet, a writer of 8 books, 5 bestsellers, and I've just recently published my personal book, which is also a bestseller. So I look forward to seeing you, and it's actually called My Memoirs, Empowerment, Defiance. And thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching. It's a beginner session for people that might just want to learn a bit about poetry or want to learn how to write some poetry. Thank you.